What will the world look like when you're old? Some of what's coming will feel like science fiction. Some of it you'd rather never see at all. Some of what's coming will feel like science fiction. Some of it you'd rather never see at all. But it's coming either way. Picture the next 25 years as a map, not of places, but of moments. Milestones already scheduled, already looming, waiting for us just over the horizon. This is the map of the future, and if you live to see the year 2050, you'll witness all of it. Let's start walking that road, one year at a time. We begin in 2026. For the first time ever, driverless robot taxis will roll onto European streets. The companies Uber and Wave will launch them in the United Kingdom. No hands on the wheel, no one in the driver's seat. Just a car that thinks for itself, weaving through traffic. It sounds ordinary now, but stop and imagine your grandparents hearing it. That same year, 3 countries share a stage. The United States, Mexico, and Canada will host the largest World Cup in history. 48 teams. A tournament bigger than any before it. And there's a quiet farewell hidden inside it. This will likely be the last World Cup for the 2 greatest soccer players who ever lived. One final chance to watch them chase the trophy. Meanwhile, far above the atmosphere, SpaceX keeps its eyes on Mars. The plan for 2026 is to send the first uncrewed spacecraft to the Red Planet. The timeline is shaky. Nothing about Mars is easy. The first rockets carrying actual humans have already slipped, now aimed at 2029 or maybe 2031. But the direction is set. We're trying to reach another world. Then comes 2027, and we return to somewhere we haven't touched in over half a century. NASA's Artemis 3 mission will carry 4 astronauts to the moon, more than 50 years since the last human footprint there. And this crew breaks new ground before it even launches. For the first time, it includes a woman and a person of color. 2 of them will stay a full week at the lunar South Pole. That region has never been explored. It's rich with ice, hidden in permanent shadow. What secrets are frozen down there? Soon we'll find out. The sky has more in store for that year. On August 2nd, 2027, a total solar eclipse will sweep across Spain, North Africa, and the Middle East. Darkness in daytime, lasting more than 6 minutes. That's extraordinarily long for an eclipse. If you miss it, you'll be waiting a while. The next comparable event won't arrive until 2114. So mark that date. This one belongs to our lifetime. Now step into 2028. The Olympic Games come home to Los Angeles for the 3rd time. Only Paris and London share that record. A city hosting the world's athletes again and again. But the real spectacle that year might not be in the stadium. It might be in the sky above Saudi Arabia. There, near Mecca, in the city of Jeddah, they hope to finish the Jeddah Tower. This will be the first building on Earth to break 1 full kilometer in height, 165 floors, 59 elevators inside it. To grasp the scale, think of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, 828 meters, the tallest building we have now. The Jeddah Tower would dwarf even that, a needle piercing the desert sky. 2029 arrives, and the heavens send us a warning. An asteroid named Apophis, 450 meters long, will pass by Earth. And not at a comfortable distance. It'll skim just 32,000 kilometers away, closer than many of our own satellites, close enough to see with your naked eye across Africa, Asia, and Europe. Picture a rock the length of several football fields, sliding silently between us and our machines in orbit. It won't hit us, but it'll be close enough to feel it. That same year brings a quieter kind of victory. Polio is expected to be completely eradicated. Today, the disease survives in only 2 places, Afghanistan and Pakistan. If we finish the job, it becomes the 2nd human disease ever wiped out by vaccines. The first was smallpox, back in 1980. Think about that. A sickness that crippled millions, gone forever. And in Chile, a giant will open its eye. The extremely large telescope will see first light in 2029. Its main mirror measures 39 meters across, the largest ever built. It will gather 100 million times more light than the human eye, up to 250 times more than the Hubble. Its mission? To hunt for planets like our own. Somewhere out there, another Earth might be waiting. This machine could be the one to spot it. Now we reach 2030, a year heavy with promises that may not be kept. It's the deadline for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, social, economic, environmental targets. Most of them are not on track. It's also the key date for the Paris Agreement's global cut in emissions. That goal grows harder every day, and Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 aims for non-oil exports to reach half of its economy. Right now, it sits at just a quarter. Bold ambitions. The clock is ticking on all of them. But 2030 also opens strange new doors. We might see the first error-tolerant quantum computers, machines that solve in hours what once took years, simulating molecules, designing better batteries, reshaping energy, logistics, chemistry, and finance. And in medicine, something almost unthinkable, the first regulated xenotransplants. Pig organs, genetically modified to work inside humans. Kidneys have already been tested on patients in the United States. Imagine an animal organ saving your life. And soccer returns with a twist. The 2030 World Cup will span 6 countries at once: Spain, Morocco, Portugal, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Why so many? To celebrate a birthday. The very first World Cup was played in 1930. This one marks its centenary, 100 years of the beautiful game. 2 years later, in 2032, the Olympics travel to Brisbane, Australia. It's the third time Australia hosts, after Sydney and Melbourne. And across the world, engineers plan something spectacular. A bridge over the Strait of Messina, linking Sicily to mainland Italy. Road and rail, spanning the water. It would become the longest suspension bridge on the planet. Longer than second place by more than 1,000 meters. A ribbon of steel across the sea. 2033 treats us to a light show. The Leonid meteor shower peaks every 33 years. This one will be especially intense. Streaks of fire raining across the night sky. But the year also ends an era quietly. MasterCard will permanently remove the magnetic stripe. That little black band has been with us for over 70 years. Invented in the 1960s, it was the first system to store digital information on a card. It paved the way for automated payments. It helped kill the paper check. It expanded commerce across the whole globe. And now it retires, replaced by chips, contactless taps, and biometrics. A tiny relic, quietly disappearing. By 2034, the World Cup lands in Saudi Arabia. A bid to project a new international image through the power of sport. And in the labs, a new frontier opens. We may see the first transplants of organs created from scratch, grown through bioprinting and tissue engineering, only in very specific cases at first. But it marks the dawn of regenerative medicine. Organs, printed to order. Let that sink in. 2035 could be a turning point for energy itself. In France, the ITER experiment plans to switch on its reactor for the first time. It's the largest nuclear fusion project ever built. It won't generate electricity yet. Its goal is to multiply the energy injected into the plasma by 10. Fusion promises clean power, no long-term radioactive waste, the same reaction that fuels the sun, tamed here on Earth. If it works, everything changes. That same year, a door closes on the roads. New gasoline, diesel, and hybrid cars will no longer be sold in the European Union, the United Kingdom, and Canada. Only zero-emission vehicles allowed. The combustion engine, after more than a century, begins its long goodbye. Then, in 2037, we cross a threshold of our own. The world population reaches 9 billion people, 9 billion souls sharing one planet. And the number keeps climbing. 2038 brings a hidden glitch buried in old machines. Some older computer systems will simply fail. Their internal clocks will stop counting correctly. They'll reboot and believe it's the year 1901. Most modern devices are safe, but not all. Orbiting satellites, industrial sensors, old utility meters, banking software running on ancient code, systems that are hard and expensive to update, a small flaw waiting patiently in the shadows. Now we reach 2040, and the most uncertain prediction of all. It's the year some believe we could achieve artificial general intelligence, a machine that solves new problems, reasons, plans, and adapts, all without being reprogrammed. True intelligence, not just clever imitation. Before the chatbot boom, most experts guessed around 2060. Now some push it as early as 2028. Nobody truly knows, but if it arrives, it will be the most important invention in human history. What happens when we're no longer the smartest minds on Earth? 2040 could also join 2 continents. The first tunnel across the Strait of Gibraltar might finally be built, connecting Spain and Morocco. The project is decades old, but it's gaining momentum. It won't be ready before 2040. The cost? Somewhere between 15 and 30 billion euros, a passage linking Europe and Africa by land, beneath the sea itself. Imagine driving from one continent to another underwater, and that year, we might start digging on the moon. The first permanent mining facilities could appear on its surface. Tests to detect ice at the lunar South Pole have already been done. Humanity extracting resources from another world. The final frontier becoming a workplace. The late 40s bring political fault lines to the surface. In 2047, the one country, two systems model in Hong Kong officially expires. It was set up when Hong Kong rejoined China in 1997, planned to last 50 years. Chinese authorities now hint it could continue indefinitely. 2 years later, in 2049, the equivalent agreement for Macau expires too. What comes next for these territories remains an open question. Then, in 2048, one of the world's great treaties comes up for review. The Antarctic Treaty was signed back in 1961. It protects Antarctica as a scientific reserve. It guarantees freedom of research. It forbids military and commercial activity. But in 2048, that agreement could be revised. Discussions about exploiting the frozen continent economically could reopen. The last untouched wilderness suddenly up for debate, and now we arrive at 2050, the far edge of our map. It's a year of both triumph and warning. In China, a green miracle should be finished. The Great Green Wall, a reforestation program launched in 1978, is scheduled for completion. Its purpose is to stop the desert from swallowing the north. Billions of trees planted along more than 4,500 kilometers, stretching from the northeast all the way to the Gobi Desert, a living wall against the sand. But elsewhere, a lung of the planet may be failing. By 2050, the Amazon could be on the verge of collapse. Up to half its surface degraded by drought, extreme heat, and deforestation. Some parts of it already release more carbon dioxide than they absorb. If that tipping point is crossed, the damage becomes irreversible. And yet, for now, it can still be prevented. The choice is still ours. There's hope in medicine too. By 2050, malaria could be eradicated worldwide. Today, it still kills 600,000 people every year, most of them in Africa, most of them children. Vaccines are being rolled out. Promising treatments exist. Success depends on funding, political will, and access to care. But an ancient killer could finally fall. So what does the world of 2050 actually look like? Let's start with the good news. The population will reach almost 10 billion. 70% of us will live in cities, up from 55% today. The United Nations goal of universal internet access could be met, with 90% of people connected, up from 70% now. Literacy could climb to 95%, rising from around 87% today. The progress runs deeper still. Extreme poverty, living on less than $3 a day, could fall from 10% to just 2%. The number of people without safe drinking water could drop from 1 in 4 to 1 in 10. That comes from new infrastructure, wastewater treatment, and cheaper technology. Life expectancy would rise from 73.6 years to about 78. And infant mortality, currently around 27 deaths per 1,000 births, could be cut by more than half. Millions of children who would have died, living instead. But the map has darker corners too. By 2050, sea levels will have risen 25 to 30 centimeters. Flooding will become routine. Miami and Mumbai are already building seawalls to hold back the ocean. And for some nations, it's a matter of survival. Tuvalu, the Maldives, the Marshall Islands. Their highest ground sits under 5 meters. The water is coming for them first, and humanity itself is growing old. Back in 2024, 1 in 10 people was over 65. By 2050, it'll be 1 in 6. That will strain pension systems, healthcare, and the labor market everywhere. Fewer workers, more elders. A world that must learn to care for its own gray hair. Which leads to the strangest question of all. If artificial intelligence and robotics keep advancing at this pace, working may no longer be a necessity for everyone. Machines that never tire, minds that never sleep. Picture a world where labor becomes optional, where no one has to work at all. That's not the end of the story. It's the question the story leaves you holding. because that future may be closer than anyone dares to admit.